I think say my relationship with football starts very young. I grew up in a 4th Street, Sojatom, where most of the times we've been play street football, but also we've been playing we get the theological college, an old high school on 4th Street. We all Mohammed Kalone. They were a bit older than us, but we all they play. We also been a play after Erod Secondary School, so then been calling it field. Now they far away day. Then we've been playing at Tower Hill. So football has been really part of me all throughout my growing up process. In fact, I've been the only hobby we've been get. Apart from the fact that we've been to go school, it was football we've been to play. So I don't get a good relationship with football. And I quite recall when we'll be small. We're not too small, but we've been become of age. Even during the war, when Champions League they play, we can't sleep in an NP just for watch them overnight because there were curfews. You know, the curfew been start 6 to 6 and the Champions League they start 7. So we can bring our food can, we watch Champions League. After that we argue football, we eat, and then all man lay down the ground on the chairs, then we sleep. In the morning we go home. So football now like a passion for me. A lot of people will know me, they tell you say, I'll call that Monday during the weekends. Because I see awake in the morning. I sit down before the television. It's English Premier League, Italian League. So really, me a football person.
Oh, that's great. So naturally, the next question, because you're a prominent legal practitioner in the country. So the next question, we're going to have somebody in mind who side the cut-off points can weigh the career where they now can take precedence over football.
Okay, so clearly, what happened? We come on our homes and they place premium on schools. Because if you look at, I play for my schools. I play for government model when they attend from Form 1 to Form 5. Then I go Erod Secondary School. I go do 6th form. Even when I go Erod Secondary School, do 6th form, I play for Erods. You know. Then I go Frabe College. I play for Frabe College by Burial Hall for 6 years, and I play for the Frabe College club. The Frabe College team for 4 years. At some point, I was captain of the Frabe College football team. But we families actually been a place premium on education, and without any derogation, the people who've been a play football before, really career footballers, they've always been people have been facing that drop out them. They drop out from school and then they play ball and then they go play leagues. While we've been play leagues in Blackfield, I don't call them Crew Bay and other places. Will not be really frequent like others. So it comes to the point when the career part became education. But in the process, we'll still mean to play football because we mean always think say football not go better people. In fact, when we mean to grow up, we mean to go watch. Look, maybe they support Eastern Lions. At the 4th Street here, they support Eastern Lions. On those weekends and Fridays, at the work go way Eastern for go watch Eastern Lions where they train. And then we come back. But importantly, we've been to go watch every game at the National Stadium. Stand 1, stand 21, I don't been to see them. So you know the crop of people, the players who have been to play, when they admire them. I think the only time where football really became kind of an enviable career. Now we basically say Musa Kalon and few of them, then break out, then go international. That was the first time where people will say, oh yeah, football can now take people overseas. I think Musa then we go Cameroon, Beshe go Portugal, then Musa I made through them, then go Belgium. So I've been the first time that people begin to look at football. So, it could be a career we go able to benefit people. But initially, I began big man them in the play, and we've been just the watch again, and we loved it. We've been the watch them. I quite recall that when they get stampede in the stadium where Blackpool play Tonel there one day and Canon there one day. I remember where Eastern Lions go play Wafu, then win 3-0 and go beat them 4-0. You know, all them provoking. I still quite remember one time where we've been a bit Eastern Lions, who I say we've been a bit Blackpool all the time. And they can't get this coach Muller. Muller he can change them football. And then go beat Lions 4-0, where they begin sing Poda beats Pajero. You know, it was quite an exciting moment for football. People in the walker from Eastern for National Stadium. So I have been really around for a while.
And I'll go back to the young boy days, so like that age of 10, 15, like that. Give me a story of a game where you play and how, you know, something will stick now you might not take it.
I quite remember. Okay, one of the things that put me off on football, I've been a player for one team na Greybush, na that in Groundfield. And then with the train, with the play, that time they went to Greybush, the league been there. The league been there na U building. There was a U building football pitch. And when they play the league. I don't nearly the pass height, but we get they manage for squeeze we serve and fit into. So we go play the team they play with the elders of the club. You know, I go dash a ball and the guy just mass on my ankle. My ankle broke. That really was a put-off point because it took me, you know, those days nobody not care for you. You have to come back to your parents and then get for halapa you, for the beat you while you go play. You know, after that it took me a while for go back into football. But I quite remember say I play extensive league na U building and Greybush and other places. I quite remember that injury there. I think that been the thing that the way.
How you treat them and how much stress been there around?
It was so much stress because I've been to go school. You know, I was a schoolboy, and then I also been a cell carrier for my parents them. So when that happened, it not just hindered me schooling, it hindered me fundraising for the family because that's the way we used to survive in Freetown. We are come to school in the afternoon. I will go sell kerosene and the money now will be to live on. So it was quite a difficult moment for me and my relatives. And my auntie Webin, the man, me keep saying, if I catch you in a football field and kind of thing, you know. So after that, they really put me off a little bit. So I think that was one moment where I don't quite remember. But I also remember say we win a league in a Blackfield, my team. And then I also moved from 4th Street. I go Brookfields. I mean, I play for Harbour United, Harbour FC. When they play in them Brookfields League them and then corner. So yeah.
Tell me about a day where you play against a player we make name from football in Sierra Leone.
Oh yes, a lot. I mean, that's how when Mohamed Callum eventually became a star, get fame, when he came back. Then they introduced me to her, and I said, I saw this man. He said, not to be in the place, so you know, because we used to play together. You know, I quite remember say we used to play a lot of football. Big Dogo Clean. We all go to that they call it high school compound. When at the theological college in there, so we played it. I even quite remember say we play against people like Gallon Pandem, you know, because we play also been playing a Fire Force League. There was a Fire Force League. We've been play. So I quite
the beginning of Kofa, exactly.
Fire Force, Naingo Parade, then you know, and so I don't play with a lot of the older guys. I remember Gino Parade, the time where he did Albert Academy, you know, with the government model, when they play school games against them. Eventually, Gino can go. He was quite an outstanding player. Very intelligent. I really have not see a Sierra Leonean player who intelligent to Junior. While gets rank in a way like lazy business, but you know that the way he reads the game, the way he passed the ball, you know, in ability for free kick. If Junior and I then tell me Junior been play, if I'll be one of the best free kickers. I remember one time the first game I watched Junior play. After that, then I can say, boy, you just packed, you know, now wait, I know the play against him. He played for Eastern Lions in a parade against Central Parade. I think it wasn't Central Parade, it was Senegal. The club was Senegal. He scored 4 goals. It was in an FA Cup. 2 from corners, direct from the corner into the goals. Like, that was outstanding. After that, now he just go. So those guys are all people where we all been to grow up. Just
a goal where you score where you still remember.
I remember scoring several goals. In fact, when I started playing, I was playing as a center defender. But I also noticed that with strikers, them not being do well. So I changed for players number 9. I scored goals. I remember scoring a goal against the most recent one where I remember in the 2000s, scoring a goal against Jalai University. Who go play them? Frabe College, Jalai University. I also remembered even when I was already 32 years old. I went back to playing football. I've been to play for Edwards as a striker. I remember scoring the first goal for Edwards against, I don't know, was it Wellington people or something. It was a league game.
Premier League?
Yes, Premier League. I was like, this is like 7 years or 8 years ago. I'd already passed 30 years. I've been already past 32 years already. I was very excited because I remember like coming back into this. All these young boys had the time. Mickey only can't walk even time I got to game with them. But I remember scoring goals doing the Premier League, and so always one other thing where I can always remember working the Hamburg Port Authority. every time I play against Port Authority, I either go pass the ball for score or I score. So I can bug the guys who all the organized football. I say, Pots and I will bobo them. One man they went and call Alaji Magba. He said, but this man in Malaya, no more they play for. All the time when they make his back for, it's a kind of quite memories when you and then sit on me and stuff. Yeah.
So in essence, you could be the first Premier League boss without actually playing in the Premier League.
I haven't thought about that, but I think so, yes. All the other one that went on there before, if I recall, yes, I think so. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, he also it brings out a couple of things. One, we need to encourage with players them forget some level of education and do other things in case they not become footballers. But importantly, it also means the old players, they need to come into the management of the game, because this is something the way they don't do and then sabi and then get passion for them. Because when you look overseas, you'll notice that the old players then really and then they manage football. That's why you see even the TV stations and then they run the games and then they run the commentaries, because they know the games and stuff. So I think it's time for we veterans, for give them a lot of opportunities for get jobs. So that they can either coach or be backroom staff or be commentators in games or commentators on radio programs. And I also think that we need to encourage the corporate institutions to put resources into games. Because now that I get me a letter of appointment here, I sat back and I started doing calculations. The Premier League will create jobs for about 500 young people. This is just like that, automatically. Once you have money for pay them salary, then go train in the morning, train in the evening time, and they'll grow in their career. Then you can provide the passion for the Sierra Leone people. I know we talk about the first division league, we get 22 teams. That it just doubled the number. It's an easier avenue for engaged young people. And these young people, not everybody go become a Mohamed Kalon, not everybody go become a Rudiger, but it gives them something to live on.
I want to go back to the kerosene days. Any other kind similar things and we be involved in, where you try for raise cash and how the home minister supporting so.
Yeah, look, I grew up very rough. Every time I say this, because of how far I've gone, people are not they really believe. I grew up really rough because I came Freetown. Me daddy died in 1984, and my mama said, "Look, I have 4 boys. I'm not going to take care of them all." So he sent me come Freetown to my auntie. And my auntie and husband can't fall out because of his polygamy. Eventually, we get for work. We do a lot of stuff. When they work, I go buy firewood, then mango wood, namabela. We can plate and we put them sell for eat, sell kerosene. Sometimes you broke for people, you do household, half work them, was spanned for people for survive. So, It was a tough beginning. I always tell people to say, now we try for polish ourselves, and out of sometimes shared luck, we always say we did, but we all in the street we grew up. I mean, if you look at Mohamed Kalon, you look at me, Kemokai, we all grew up for streets, Soldier Streets, Galon Pandem. We all been to play football. We defend Gary for eating the morning, So it was a tough beginning, but thank God we don't come this far.
Wow. So how much this street knowledge go help you in this?
I always can tell people, I say my street knowledge is really huge. I go on for makes like I'm a civilized man because of how far I've come. But if you want for log, I still go. But what it also do to me, and I think this is why I went back to football, because when I go Europe, I go study. After I done my law degree and go back and I come back. For me, I think it was been time for give back and say there are a lot of young people. So if you look at how much money I spend on Erots, 6-7 million a month on salary normal, then you get Elvis Carbo, King chip in, help us for do stuff. Now that is not any mean feast where anybody go on for do. It's because we want for help these young people, give them hope. Somebody will become a Mohamed Kalon, but somebody will able to take the 100 or 200,000 home and live on them. Rather than then a streets they beggars. So growing up on the streets, I watch a lot of me comping them who when they grew up became street boys and fall on the wayside. Like I said, by sheer dividends of luck, me being a for the good school. Beg people that for pay school fees, go to neighbors and they write letters to people. I can give you 2 stories. I remember when I being come up from 5, I go from 4, I go from 5. I not get nobody for pay school fees, nobody for buy uniform. So I wrote this passionate letter to Chris Charlie. That's in the immigration. I said,
Chris Charlie,
the police officer. He's now retired. He was Assistant Inspector General Police. I say, then he brought me the letter back after almost 20 years. He brought me the letter. He said, look, your letter. And I have it. I'm going to keep it. I have to publish it at some point. I wrote him with me rough handwriting. But then he gave me money. I buy uniform and I went to Form 5. When I passed O levels, there's a man, Mr. Alassane Kamara, was my neighbor. I also write the same letter. He gave me money. I go 6th form. So it has been kind of a harsh, maybe like I said, difficult struggle, begging people one day after another. So this took me back to how can I help? I go back in Edwards to put a lot of resources in it. My family members, they ask me if not crazy. I said, no. Most of us grew up on the street. People sorry for us. They felt sorry for us and giving money for that we come to where if we go to school. So we have to give back. Then now I form Lower FC, which is the 1st division team. Also, that's for help the young people. For the past 7 and 8 years while I'm on the football, I don't ever get 1 penny back. So it's not like so every time when you hear people then say, oh, these football stakeholders now where they want to be corrupt, then we don't really get money. We don't get 1 penny from football. Right now we put money into the game. All we need is respect and follow the due process. That's all we demand, because now passion we follow, which is really bad. And I think this is something we need to move away from. We need to get the Sierra Leonean private sector and government to understand that football is no longer about sacrifices made by individuals. It can be about investment. You invest into it, and it comes back either from TV rights or sponsorship or from selling of players, And this is something that I hope that we will begin to incorporate into the game, because what will happen to Edwards, for example, if I not get money tomorrow morning, or like where life short, I die, you never know what happens to your club if there is no sustainable plan. So I think this is something that we will have to try to do.
And this law also as we're in the topic already, reminds me of the policy we having be part of, about taking the clubs to the communities, and then they become companies. And so I don't know, in terms of being Premier League boss now, whether that's a vision.
That's exactly the vision. In fact, one of the things we had we get a meeting with government yesterday, just to try for soft in the ground about sponsorship. And one of the things the government insists that we're not going to put money into that whole mess. We're going to go. So now that we're going to the Premier League, we're going to ensure that there are benchmarks where these clubs go meet. You're registered as a company. Apart from being registered as a company, when I get a verifiable bank account, when I get an executive, and that bank account are 2-3 people there. So even if we get to provide some seed money to these clubs, it's not going to go to the individuals. It will be properly managed. Or if government, for example, come up with a policy, say all government-owned companies forgive some amount of corporate social responsibility to these clubs, that money, one person not going to take them, because in the past there has been problems of mismanagement, and we need to stop all of that.
Why law?
Look, when I finished 6th form, my initial plan was for becoming a medical doctor. Me and my daddy, before he died, I'm in the conversations and that all again. But then there's always a memory. I go class 5. And then I remember I take maths and I get 0 over 100. I was like, wow, I can no longer do this. So I just clearly put me off. 0 over 100. I said, me no do maths again. So I begin to go to liberal art. I go when I come up from 5, I'll be go Albert Academy. I've not been getting enough money for go to 6th form. But when I go Edwards clearly, people will be in the come Edwards, go for a big college and go read law. So it's that kind of thing. But me not an activist. Even when I've been at university, me not an activist. But all of the activism we do, social advocacy, and what you do, it depends on law, the legal implications. So while I've been studying English and sociology, I always knew I was going to go to study law, because law is a tool where you go use for change. You go change laws, you go able to challenge bad governance, and that is exactly what me don't do all my years by then. So I'm really excited that I eventually become a lawyer. And even though for me, enough for make me become big-headed or make me forget from that man who been the big people for go school or who been they look for Gary for it, I'm always that same man, on a grand level.
Okay, so you may start with Eastern Lions, but how come Edwards is not big to school?
Yes, exactly. Eastern Lions not my team. All the time. If walk in the play, I can tell Abdurrahman Davis of Eastern Lions, I say, look, now my team is this one. One day I get for Como Edwards, I can't take over chairmanship now. Lions not my team. Everybody will know me growing up now. But when I go play sixth form now, Edwards, I eventually fall in love with Edwards. Then when I came back from studies in 2008, Edwards not been get chairman. There was a vacuum. The club been there. They were only that club in the relegated that year. Then I get Koto Kamara. He came to me, say, "Hey, but we team there, we'll all go this." And so I went in, and I realized that's how I joined Edwards. And me, once I join something, I give my all. While I like Lions as a club, I mean Edwards now my baby, and I want to continue for support. I didn't call him.
Close you may be with you, Daddy, and how you feel?
Me and Daddy we've been very close. Me have been the last of the bond, so me and we've been very close. We go up and down, and then he died, and I think that was the reason why I moved to Freetown. Things tend to happen for a reason, because I'm sure if me Daddy not been died, there was no need for me to come Freetown. But when he died, there were 4 boys in the family. Mama alone, we were very troublesome, and he thought that these boys, I get for scatter them. So he brought me to my aunt. He sent me other brother go Liberia to his bigger brother, to his elder brother, and then that's how I came to Freetown. But it was a sad moment because my father was an educationist. He was a teacher. He provided everything we needed. We study, and I think I remember, for example, I come out Kailan, I come class 1 Kailan, where I come. Then give me test in a school. They had to put me in class 3. Then I remember a teacher, they teach this 60 inches make 1 yard, 60, and all of the kids were quiet with the teacher. When the teacher don't read the first line, I continued reading the second line. And then he turned and watched me. He asked me, "Where are you from?" Because we and Papa been already prepared, we on this and that. So my father was a good man.
How he died?
Snake better. He been to do agriculture stuff and go into farm snake better. By the time they pull on at the farm, bring kind of hospital. We not see the snake. We don't know what kind of snake. It been down. The poison been down. Overtaken.
And of course, he far to the hospital.
Yes. Those villages, hospitals are far off. Motukano Day and for total and hammock run with them. So I guess one of the disadvantage of being in the village.
That may make you want to be doctor before.
No, we already mean to talk about doctors because. I remember when I was small, they get them chakabula when they use for kill animal. Then go kill one deer, then count them. They ran the bullet, I put on my head. It went into my eardrum. It was painful. So they bring the doctor from Kailan town, we can try for the. Then people they try for force and for come out with pain and my head's been the bleed. And they brought this doctor. It's not look. He said no, when I left him. He said, "Wait, they let on a net when I put one per mine in his." He said, "In the morning, he will come out," and that's what they did. I put the bone per mine to my eardrum. In the morning, the bullet come out, and that's how I wanted to be a doctor because he been couched all of that in white apparel and stuff, and so that's.
Be impressed with that knowledge.
Really impressed as a small kid watching this man. That's one.
Any day where you play a game, then taught you.
Always. I mean, look, I played several wings. I not play really to the level where I been one for play, and for me, it not been one of the difficult when me regret. Now where I not play football to that level where I be one for play. Every day where I sit down and I watch how player then slow the way they read the games. Like I said earlier, I started as a central defender. Then I can't play number 6. I was a midfielder for a long time, and I remember that I've been a chase like her. So most of the times I will really play where game they don't now meet and go to. I mean they live in testimonies. We get people then I go play as a striker. Then they call me Billy Cocker because every ball where he love I go score with my head. I think I do me a little bit as a young man playing football. Sufficiently enough for even Lekam Lake. So the passion I get for football is tremendous.
For the end they were young, tell we some man that they playing at Europe right now with you good pass. Last 2 weeks ago I go look Morata. I support Chelsea.
And then, I've been there at the sheet. Because I don't buy the ticket, I've been there at the sheet at the back of the goal. Let's give this bobo the ball. They mean, now tell, but you guys say, play pass this bobo. 20 there at this age, why they turn 40 and they play pass Morata. This boy just a poor we game. There's several of those kind of players, but it depends on which side you find yourself, so, I guess. But for a lot of young people, I think, for me, one of the things I go always say to players, and I find this difficult with Sierra Leonean players, and I understand when they come from the poverty level. If you ask Mohamed Kalon how he become because he always believed in himself. Mohamed Kalon got trained on his own. Nobody no need for Mohamed Kalon not been a dinkram, in the smoke. So I think young people need for focus. You want to be a professional player, focus on it. If God not make you for be, you will still become something else. Today we get players and we play football at some level, but we not go up. They are coaches. So, Zappa then he's a decent young man. Once you see him, say this is not decent young man. You see Zappa by any kind of stuff. So examples like that we need for sure. More young people, let them be committed to their own life building.
It's this news about you. Sometimes we do on the technical bench. If things not go well, not the team, you can actually tell the coach, so you go inside and go play. Were you not chairman of Edwards? Yes,
I mean the point is, and this is not an issue where I always find difficult. A lot of people feel so, you're not chairman or they put money into a game, you're not for play. I said no. I get passion for football, and I train the same way where the young people been trained, right? Sometimes and then I lock me shop and I lock me office at 4:30. I mean, first they go before them. I go and train. I watch some young person. I look at this. I get pace person. Intelligent person again. But always what I can do is I try to give them the opportunity. They are the young guys. Me don't reach at the prime way. I no longer they play football as a career. So me and the coaches, we can always see them. They look each other. I tell them, say, I beg pull that ball, make I go play. Particularly a game like where you want to win a game. As a player, pull down it. But the other thing where a lot of people they get wrong is that all the coaches will coach Edwards. When I go to them, I tell them, say, I put money into this game. I want to play. You do not get for play me. You're not under any obligation for play me. If you ask Amidu Karim, I had a conversation with him. I said, you not get for play me. I said, make sure say, I am fit enough for play. We can travel, we go at the end of bench, we play and not play, we come back, no problems. You understand? But there are points when I would say, I said, but I remember Coach Freaky being there. I said, but Freaky, pull this ball come on at this field, I could play. And if we agree, I can play. Sometimes then I go tell her, you say, no, you're not a play today. Because you're not on train. Because I've been the travel, sometimes I go miss 2 days training. And I myself put the law. If you miss 2 days training, you won't play. So why I come at the end of the bench, whether I want to play or not, me coach say, the coach is not the boss when it comes to playing. Not to me. You understand? Me not chairman. But once I wear that vest, the coach is not the boss. He determines whether to play. When he lost the game, what can I do? I can't ask him how he lost the game. You understand? So I never imposed on them. But I'm pretty sure most of the coaches realized that I made a lot of effort. And from me little intelligence and me past, they know say I could be a good player.
And you play this season? Really?
No, I don't think so. I don't. At 40 years, no. I don't. First, I don't even get time. Now I get for organized Premier League. I get for try for spend money for Edwards. I get for do lawyer work. I get for travel. I don't think I will have time for it. I think I've been don't tell people to say my career in football is ended.
Okay. Playing career.
Playing career, yes.